Frontier, a physical or statutory line that separates one country from another. Behind each frontier, a town blooms. In Latin America today, there are almost 18,000 frontier towns. Their exponential growth is due to commercial exchange, whether legal or not. In most cases, they are tied to illicit trade. Smuggling, narcotics, weapons, and people. In each of these frontier towns, there are thousands of stories, people that risk a portion of their capital. Others are used by criminal organizations as part of large-scale smuggling.
These are Latin American hot borders.
Iquitos, Peru, the Amazon jungle. Iquitos is the capital of the Maines province and the department of Loreto in Peru. It's the biggest city in the Peruvian Amazon and the 7th most populated city in Peru. With over 400,000 inhabitants, Iquitos is divided into two: the metropolitan area and the rural zone that is surrounded by the Amazon, Nanay, and Itaia rivers. This city is near the border with Colombia and Brazil, and all three countries share the Amazon jungle, which is a hotspot for the growth, production, and trafficking of cocaine. This unique region makes Peru the second largest producer of cocaine. The drug traffickers work with international teams from Peru, Colombia, and Brazil. The production of cocaine from Peru goes to markets in Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, and Chile. The Iquitan police and their narcotics division work together with border outposts to control the flow of drugs. The cooperation between institutions allows for the sharing of information that leads to the takedown of labs and growing operations.
Los operativos salen de manera imprevista. No hay un día determinado, la información fluye y en cualquier momento estamos ya listos, prestos a poder salir a una operación.
The Iquitan police board their speedboats to enter the Peruvian Amazon.
Apaguen los motores. Llegamos a destino. ¿Me copia?
After an intelligence operation that lasted for months, agents can locate a large growth of cocaine. The objective of this mission is not to arrest the townspeople, but to pinpoint the center of the drug operation and its campsites.
Objetivo a las 12, objetivo a las 12.
Sí.
No abra fuego, no abra fuego.
Venga, venga.
Nadie dispara.
While in the area, various workers see the police and escape in order to alert their partners.
Por la experiencia que tenemos nosotros en el campo, sí o sí tiene que haber ahí un lugar, una construcción rústica, que es un laboratorio, y si hay gente, con más razón, porque la gente entra cuando ya los insumos para la elaboración de la pasta básica de cocaína están en el terreno.
Sigan las huellas. No abran fuego, sigan las huellas para ubicar el objetivo.
Aquí está el campamento, estamos cerca.
¿Cuál es tu punto? Cerca, Chapi.
Nos alertaron, el campamento está vacío. Tengo un niño, menor de edad.
¿Menor de edad?
Afirmativo.
During their search, they come across a large campsite and a 13-year-old boy.
¿Cómo es tu nombre? ¿Cuántos eran aquí total? Un aproximado.
34.
¿Dónde está el laboratorio?
No, allá.
Tienes primos, tíos, tía, así como me ha dicho. Dime, ¿dónde está la estructura de...? laboratorio, yo traigo a mi gente allá, los dejan ahí tranquilos y me voy al laboratorio.
Due to his innocence from being raised around the production of cocaine, the boy offers up information about the cocaine growth. He also offers up something else. Something unexpected. Border between Ecuador and Colombia. Ipiales is a city that is located on the border of Colombia in the Andes. The border, which is the second most important border in Colombia, is united by a natural bridge, Rumichaca International. A wide variety of measures are put in place to regulate commerce and tourism, which are the two main economies in the area. About 500 vehicles cross this border every hour. Many people cross this border trying to take advantage of the foreign exchange rate to buy at a cheaper price.
Sí, ya. Ok, tómate. No es nada malo. Vamos a revisar el contenido de las bolsas. ¿Qué transporta? Parece una fiesta de un niño, una piñata. Préstame tus documentos, por favor.
Daily, thousands of packages are looked through in order to find items that were not declared prior to crossing. This agent notices a suspicious lump and decides to separate it to investigate.
Permítame tu cédula, señora, por favor.
Son de nosotros, y yo los haré para un niño.
Acompáñanos, por favor.
The two passengers are asked to provide identification, and they are taken inside the customs facility to continue the process.
Uno como no lleva para negocios, sino para la casa. Lo usé así para la casa porque mi hermano sufre de próstata. Y para el niño que llevo así, ajá, el jarabecito es para el niño.
To the officer's surprise, the content of the seized bags do not have prescription medication like they were told, but instead, it contains a large quantity of sexual enhancement supplements. In Colombia, it is illegal to bring in medications that are not registered with the state due to the risk to the public health. In this case, like many others, the pills will be confiscated due to the potential health hazards they present. The woman is dejected. She won't be able to smuggle in the supplements that her brother needs, but she's freed and allowed to continue on her passage into Colombia. Iquitos, Peru, the Amazon jungle. Iquitos is the capital of the Maines province and the department of Loreto in Peru. Iquitos is near the border with Colombia and Brazil, and all three countries share the Amazon jungle, which is a hotspot for the growth, production, and trafficking of cocaine. After an intelligence operation that lasted months, the agents are able to locate a large growth operation for cocaine. The Iquitan police board their speedboats to enter the Peruvian Amazon. After entering the area in question, they find a large campsite and a 13-year-old boy that reveals something unexpected. The police traverse further into the jungle until they get to a place that would have been impossible to find without the help of the boy.
Señal de seguridad, seguridad. Encontramos el laboratorio.
Se toma la bastante de seguridad ahí.
Positivo laboratorio.
They find it, and without a doubt determine it's one of the largest cocaine laboratories in the area.
Positivo para pasta básica de cocaína.
Encontrando un mega laboratorio donde se encontró coca, se encontró sustancias químicas, se encontró una picadora para picar la hoja de coca y prácticamente ya droga en proceso de elaboración.
Esta es la herramienta que utilizan los narcotraficantes para picar la hoja de coca. Es ingresado por la tolva, se ingresa la hoja de coca y todo el producto es botado por acá. En la parte de acá ya es mezclado con lo que es el cemento y es ya enviada directamente a los cilindros conteniendo gasolina. Este método se utiliza para poder adquirir el alcaloide de cocaína.
Hemos dado un gran golpe a los narcotraficantes porque era un laboratorio inmenso. Hubiesen producido buena cantidad de droga.
Looking through the elements and components that is used in cocaine production, we can see it being mixed with cement, kerosene, ammonium sulfate, and toxic chemicals that are fatal to humans.
Solicito autorización para la destrucción. Autorizado.
The laboratory and all of its materials are destroyed. The police's efforts do not stop the issue, though. They are trying to stop the younger population and the neighboring indigenous tribes from being roped into the drug trade. Scraping the coca leaves pays for young ones to go to school. These are Latin American hot borders. Latin American hot borders. Border between Brazil and Paraguay. Foz de Iguaçu, Brazil, with a population of around 200 million, is closed off to new immigrants. Foreigners make up only 0.3% of the population. Through the Brazilian border at Foz de Iguaçu, more than 90,000 people cross every day. In a routine control, a mototaxi is stopped and its passenger is inspected. He is ordered to open the cases he has. He complies, but when an officer tries to look through one of his cases, he begins to complain. The documentation provided does not give enough evidence as to who he is. The officer lets him know that his passage will be delayed until they can confirm his identity.
Ocorre que ele apresentou documento que é uma fotocópia e boletim de extravio paraguaio. Como o senhor me apresentou documento que é uma xerox, o senhor vai comigo ali na Polícia Federal, a gente só vai fazer a identificação e liberar o senhor, tá ok? Sem problema nenhum, senhor.
The public transportation drivers are required by law to wait until all of their passengers are cleared for travel.
No sé cuál es su problema todavía. Y contrató para pasar hasta allá nomás. Y completo ya era un 20 real. ¿Qué hago?
Ele é cidadão nigeriano que está entrando no país sem documento original. Ele só tem uma fotocópia. E aí a gente não consegue checar os dados dele no sistema. Os dados dele constam como inexistentes.
They proceed to search the database for his documents in order to confirm his identity. Bothered about the wait, the man continues to tell the agents that he lost his original documents in Paraguay. The man insists to be a Brazilian citizen and that the documentation presented was the one that the Paraguayan police gave him when he was to denounce the loss of his document.
A gente vai checar os dados de forma que a gente encontre algum registro dele que possa autenticar as palavras dele.
The registration finally appears on the screen, and the situation becomes even more complicated. The man has prior penalties. One of them is for drug trafficking. Border between Colombia and Venezuela. Cúcuta Simón Bolívar Bridge. The economic and social deterioration of Venezuela has left Venezuelans no choice but to cross into Colombia by the thousands in order to fulfill basic necessities. The customs agents here must verify that the amount of money that is being brought in does not surpass the amount allowed by law.
En pesos colombianos, no sé.
¿Cuánto lleva yo la cola?
Son 900.
920, 500,000 pesos. Más o menos, el estimado.
Even though at first glance the sum of money calls attention, in most cases the money doesn't exceed the limit.
Voy a ir a comprar unos tratamientos que ciclados de acero para las operaciones, pero no es nada. Con este paquetico tengo un sueldo mínimo.
Some pass through to conduct business. Others simply come in for a simple repair or food. For now, Venezuela's only solution is to cross the border between Brazil and Paraguay. During a routine control measure, the passenger of a mototaxi is inspected by the police and asked for documentation. The man claims to have lost his original documents in Paraguay, and the documents he has are from Paraguayan police given to him for his departure. Looking through their database to confirm the man's identity, the agents find previous infractions, among them one for drug trafficking.
A gente já averiguando, a gente já consegue ver que ele tem 4 problemas com a polícia. Por que o senhor foi preso por tráfico?
Quem pensa isso é meu nome?
Quem foi preso é o seu nome, não foi o senhor.
Pensa isso é meu... Ele está explicando ano passado, não?
Vê que tem a foto dele no Faseg.
Ano passado?
Tem a foto dele, não.
Eu estava explicando para você e não quer entender.
Então tá bom, conta sua história.
Não tem história, não tem problema com o juiz. Você tem constantemente...
Tá certo.
Não tem dever de juiz.
Tá certo. Então, senhor, deixa eu passar a informação pro senhor. A gente, em consulta de rotina, achou algumas pendências judiciais do senhor, entendeu? Agora a gente está averiguando, tá bom?
Tá ali. Aí se verifica. Quando eu não tenho problema com o juiz, então você me prende. Assim funciona o negócio.
The data shows that he was indeed imprisoned the year before on drug trafficking charges, and he was given a conditional release. All that is left is to confirm that his passage into Brazil does not break the terms of his conditional release.
Ele tem uma liberdade provisória concedida pelo juiz.
Quantos dias o senhor ficou preso? 2 meses. 2 meses? Sim.
The agent asked for the papers that his lawyer gave him upon his release from prison. The suspect does not have it on him, but has sent a message to his lawyer to send it to him. Meanwhile, he has to wait for his lawyer's response.
A Polícia Federal vai tomar as medidas cabíveis e, se entender por liberar o cidadão.
The agent explains that the state police were notified of the suspect's travel out of the country. After proving his innocence, the man in question is able to continue on his way after 8 hours of waiting. These are Latin American hot borders. Latin American hot borders. Border between Brazil and Argentina. Tancredo Neves Bridge. The traffic of food-related items through the border is of concern to governments. The illegal trafficking of food has unknown health hazards that leave the general population at risk. The import of products that do not have permits or certificates of quality are confiscated without question.
Não.
Yo no saben, no mais por eso vengo.
Não. Foi ali. Está fazendo a retenção do produto. Na verdade, não pode passar como produto de origem animal e vegetal. E também acima do permitido.
Não.
De jeito nenhum.
Está perjudicado, eu sou pobre.
Não gana nada,
Eso no quiero otra cosa.
Mas quando não sabe, tem que parar aqui primeiro e perguntar, né? Senão dá esse tipo de transtorno. Quando não sabe, tem que parar aqui na aduana e perguntar primeiro.
Not understanding there is no way to recover the items taken from her, she desperately tries to convince the authorities.
Ela não tem direito à cota porque é estrangeira.
She tries to explain that it is her only mode of survival, and if they take it all from her, she will have no means to live.
Para llevar Paraguay nomás. No es para vender carne en Brasil. No sabía. Si sabe, no voy a venir acá. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Los pobres así. Para el mundo está bien, pero para Dios no. Porque yo no me fui a robar, solo comprar.
A mercadoria vai para o depósito da Receita Federal, que lá é feito o procedimento final com o contribuinte.
Due to the money lost from their confiscated merchandise, the woman and her husband march forward together to try to get back on their feet after the hard hit their finances took. Border between Ecuador and Colombia. Tulcan, Rumichaca Bridge. The Pan-American Highway unites almost every country in the Americas. Here, the national police, the armed forces, and customs agents undergo a joint operation to reinforce security measures at the border.
Este momento estamos ubicados en la base operativa de Yaguarcocha. Este es un punto de control intermedio entre la frontera norte y la capital del Ecuador, que es Quito.
One of the cargo loads being transported is stopped when the driver presents suspicious documents. His truck will be inspected.
Como ustedes pudieron ver, se encontró una cámara virtual de disección que procedía de una universidad.
Es una cámara que no tiene los documentos legales para el traslado, que nos justifique que es legal.
After not being able to produce his documents, the camera is confiscated. The drivers try and get the receipt of the product and the importation papers in order to not encounter any more issues.
Vámonos a la base, que nos justifiquen la legal tenencia y circulación de la maquinaria que tenemos al momento.
Esta máquina tiene que justificar con documentos de aduana el ingreso de esa mercancía. Justifican y se van.
In the case that the drivers do not provide the paperwork, the machine will be taken and an investigation into the destination of the product will begin.
All cases presented in this program are real. The people involved are innocent until proven otherwise.
Every day, millions of people cross borders trying to make enough money to survive.
Para el mundo está bien, pero para Dios no.
But the main task is to prevent drug trafficking.
Por que só foi preso por tráfico?
Money laundering.
Com este paquetico temos sueldo mínimo. Acompanha-nos, por favor.
The criminals take advantage of the suffering and the desperation of the people in order to conduct business.
Parece una fiesta de un niño.
Eu estou explicando para você, não quer entender.
Crime knows no border. But where there is one, police are there to help stop it.
These are Latin American hot borders.